I just showed you a video. It was me pledging $1 million and donating $200,000 to Logan College of Chiropractic. Why did I show you that video? Well, it's a major part of marketing. When we go into the formulas of marketing, one of the major components of marketing is trust, is the trust factor, And we'll go through the whole formula and how it works and why it works. But if you're going to, of all the categories of what you want to say or do, the number one thing, in other words, if you had only one thing you could say, only one in your marketing, of everything, how you help this, the therapy that helps this, whatever, okay? If you could only say one thing, guess what that thing should be? It should be a trust message. Why? Because when we pick and choose our providers, when we buy products and services, remember there's 5 places after we have a need, a perceived need for something. We will go through in our mind 5 different places of where we will go, why we will buy that product or service. Now, it is different for every industry except the first one. Here's the 5 places, and I'll give you the order for the chiropractic patient. Number 1 is a trusted source. The very first thing that we want to do is we'd rather have somebody say, a referral, go to this person, or you can trust this person. We'd rather have that. So that's the very first category of every industry. And here's why it's always number 1 in every industry. Maslow created the Maslow hierarchy of needs, basically what humans do in the order that they'll do them. Well, the very first one is called survival. We'll spend time or money to make sure we have oxygen, food, shelter. That will trump everything. Nothing else will matter. But here's the deal. Right after that, it's security. And that is why we would rather have a referral. We'd rather have somebody we know, somebody we trust, somebody we're familiar with, because familiarity creates security. And how high of a demand is security in our lives? It's the second highest need in life. Security. And that's why. So when we go buy products and services, the first thing that we always we prefer to be is to be safe. Who can agree with that? Makes sense, right? That's the first thing. So if you were going to do any messaging at all, a trust message. And what's the number 1 trust message? A testimonial. It's a testimonial endorsement. It's the number 1 trust message. Now, there's very specific criteria relative to a trust testimonial that you want to have in there. You don't want to have just junk. There's a few major components to a testimonial that you want in there. We're going to cover those. But that's the first one. Number 2 is location. Number 3 is price. Number 4 is service factors. Number 5 is quality. So, after trust, 75% of the people will pick a chiropractor based on location. Only 15 to 20% would be based on price. And then only 3% is based on service factors and 3% based on quality factors. What's a quality factor? A quality factor is when you market that you graduated the dean of your class. You have a DACBO. You are a specialist in chiropractic sports physician. See, those are quality factors. They're very low in why people pick things. It's 3%. By the way, it's true of professionals. And the reason, it's the same with a dentist. Most of you, when you go to a dentist, you don't look at his criteria, where he graduated in class, what his GPA is, what are the other things. You don't, because he's licensed. The average person, the average public thinks when you're licensed, you already know what you're doing. That's why you'll just pick a dentist or an accountant that's certified, a certified CPA, okay? So that's why service factors are the absolute lowest, quality factors, and then service factors are low too. So the number 1 category that we all buy first and want is trust. So that's why the trust message, if you only had one thing, only had one component of a message, only one, that is why It is so valuable. In other words, if I only had one message I could do in marketing, it's testimonials. That's because of what I just said. It's the first place everybody wants because of the second highest need in life, security. So we'll go into that specifically. And then it's location. Are you in the area? Are you in it? That's 75% of the reason why somebody will pick a chiropractor. And then the third one, that's 15 to 20%, is are you on my insurance plan? But it doesn't matter if you're on my insurance plan and you're 100 miles away. You see, there is a hierarchy, and it's not black and white. They kind of merge a little bit, but overwhelmingly proportional. So this is why you want to pay a lot of attention to the trust category in marketing, not just in where you market, but how you market. So we're going to make sure we cover that very well in this seminar.